And sometimes the crystal will be on one route, and then you would have to go back, like I'm gonna have to do here. Oh, I lost an Aqua Mask. Now, my strategy for this is going back down the way where I know the enemies are gone. I have to be careful of holes, though. Because they kept the difficulty of where the camera doesn't adjust itself when you're running backwards. So you have to try to get as close as possible to the edge to show the hole of where to go. This makes behaving especially difficult. Really the only reason for the major difficulty in behaving besides the stupid bees. Alright, that wasn't as bad as I thought. I got back to the original part. Yeah, now that I play these levels as a full-grown adult that's had plenty of experience with platformers, these levels tend to be a lot shorter than I remember them being. But when I first played these games, I was like 10, 12 maybe. Because I didn't play any of these games when they first came out. I played them like early 2000s. And that was at least 2002 because I remember being up in Connecticut and I remember Funko Land. Does anybody remember Funko Land? I don't know if Funko Land is still around. I know it's not a thing in the South, but I know it was around in Connecticut when I was up there, and which was between 2002 and 2004. Though technically, just from what you saw there, I believe I did the hard version first, because it seems like that alternative path was a lot shorter and would have been meant for the path that you would backtrack on. Oh yes, and reinforced crates were introduced in Crash 2 because of the body slam. You can only break reinforced crates via the body slam. And otherwise, those reinforced crates will never break. Granted, once you into... Oh, God. Why? I was doing so good. I never like the fact that, well, dying in a bonus level doesn't cost you any lives. It still costs you your Aku Aku, which kind of sucks. But I guess it would be deemed unfair if you kept your Aku Aku. By no one. I'm gonna break that here. Balancing room. I'm pretty sure that you can't do that without the crash dash in this version of Crash 2. Hooray! The gems are, for the most part, easier to collect than Crash 1 because They don't heavily rely on random placement of needing a color gem. So far, out of the 4 levels I've done, only 1 level has required that, where in Crash 1, not the very first level, because Insanity Beach didn't require any color gems, but the second level required a gem. I think the 4th level required a color gem, and both color gems were way later in the game, so I prefer the structure that this took with Crash 2. I prefer the structure that they took here, because it made more sense, it made it less frustrating to backtrack. But now we're in a chase sequence. Well, thank you for telling me how to slide. We got a boulder chasing us again. And those do not kill you. Those little mines, they don't kill you. They slow you down, which will have the ball catch up to you. And therefore, it will hurt you. These kill you, though. The electric fences. I don't know why electric fences are just randomly placed here. And I believe in these levels there are no nitro switches unless there's a portion of the level where you have to deal with nitro boxes. But in like this level, I think there's no nitro switch because the only nitros that are in the level are actually the ones that the boulder itself destroys. I'm not gonna bother that. And we count to 5, and that's when you know it'll break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was also universally changed because I think it was a lot longer in Crash 1. I think it was actually a lot longer in Crash 1 and Crash 2, but I think Crash 3 is what it's unifying it to, where it only takes 5 bounces to break the bouncy crates. So I think it was like 8, maybe, I think, at least in Crash 1, or in both. I can't go chase level without dying, can I? Like, I agree. Damn it. That's the same place I died, too. A while ago, when the Sane Trilogy came out on PS4, with, Some Call Me Johnny and Kid Icarus, did a collaborative review on it. I did agree on one major thing. Why do I keep dying at this hole? That, the camera here in the boulder levels, like the backtracking in the other levels wouldn't be so bad if the camera was like this, because I can see stuff in time for the most part. That was my bad. Let's stop dying. Like, if the camera just transitioned, if it knew you were going back and it transitioned to this type of camera, like the chase levels, backtracking and like stuff like behaving wouldn't be as bad, in my opinion. Got it. And there's some nitpicky stuff, like the Insane Trilogy version of Crash 2 has a different warp noise and a different warp animation. Some people thought that was a bad choice to do because the old warp noise was fine, the old animation was fine. But people also have to realize that Crash 1, 2, and 3 were built from the ground up, from just vicarious, just like studying the original games. But it does look like that it does the same thing, where once you unlock the boss level, you cannot go back to the previous levels that you were doing until you defeat the boss. Which, the first boss is Ripper Roo. You shouldn't play with nitro boxes, neither should you. Personally, this is my favorite rendition of Ripper Roo. I love the top hat, I love the mustache, I love the cane. All right. I'm just gonna stay here, see if that's good. Oh, no, it's not. All right, and now I know that. Stay here, then go to the right side. I believe you don't really do anything until he's done with the nitro. See what you did there. You tried to get me. Guys, hey, you've been hiding in the corner for most of this battle. We're gonna place one here. I got wise to that. Die twice. Shame on me. Die three. Shame on you. Die 3 times. Shame on me. Look at that strut. Look at that strut. That's a Bandicoot that knows what he's doing. He's confident that he's helping the right person, even though he's not. We're gonna go up.
I see that Ripper Roo failed to prove much of a challenge yet again. But back to business. There are crystals to be gathered, 20 to be exact. The planets will align shortly, all 13 of them, and this will create a power great enough to rip the Earth apart. Properly utilized, however, the crystals can absorb and contain the energy.
Crash, is that you? I've been looking
weird.
everywhere. I don't have much time to tell you this. You have to be careful. Trusting Cortex seems a little unwise, Crash. I can't keep the data path open much longer. Crash, you need to...
That was a weird freeze there for a second. Yeah. Sorry to do this, Puller. I think this was it. There we are. Gonna just try this stuff. Yep, we're gonna bring Coco. And we're gonna be switching to Coco. This is now Coco Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back. And now we've gotten our extra lives from Polar. We're gonna go to Snowbiz. Yeah, it's still pretty adorable.